Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Sustain Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Sustain Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.
Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lesbians are about. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out, the podcast where you'll find me at the matinee, the dark of the matinee. It's better at the matinee. Catch me singing the whole song. Anyways, I'm reliving my Franz Ferdinand glory days all by myself because from the West Coast, I'm Lee Holmes Foster, and there's no Ellie tonight. She's abandoned me. So to those of you who have been with us through this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. And if you're a new listener, welcome. We are excited to have you here. Here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where you can touch base about things going on with the podcast and otherwise. This week with the podcast, we are still releasing our Patreon bonus episodes. You can listen to those at bit.ly/LesPatreon. When you support us on Patreon, you support our small independent team so we can continue to keep making this podcast for all of you. In the greater Les universe, there is a collective sighing and crying from all of the queer women across the globe because Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe have announced their split after 10 years of dating. I know it's a really sad time for all of us who believed in lesbian love. It's still out there, everyone. We can still believe. But we're here for you. If you're mourning, we're mourning too. On that same vein, Megan Rapinoe was talking about how the press needs to be better about queer issues in women's sports because when Azzy Fudd was being interviewed by a reporter, they asked about the status of her relationship with Paige Beckers. Now, this comes at a moment where Azzy Fudd was officially introduced as a new member of a WNBA team. And she is in a relationship with Paige Beckers, correct? But I think it's more about like, well, she's doing this really cool big thing in her life. Why are we making this about relationship stuff? When if this was in the NBA, a man would never be asked about his personal relationship status. And we know that there's a lot of crazy shit that NBA players are doing in their relationships now. So yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, we love you. Fuck Klay Thompson. You'll hear in this episode all about the Cinema Sisters Lesbian Film Festival, which is in its 10th year. Very exciting. If you want to attend, you can do that from May 21st through the 24th. It's in Paducah, Kentucky, but as you'll hear in this episode, people come from all over the country to attend this festival, and it is so, so, so worth it. So you still have some time to get your tickets. I'm sure you're going to want to come after you listen to this episode. With that, back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee. We are so excited to bring you episode 18 of season 9. It's Get in My Box Office. And we are joined by a whole slew of special guests today. So everyone, bear with me as I attempt to make it through all of these intros without messing any of it up. We are here to talk about Cinema Sisters, a festival focused on uplifting the visions and voices of lesbian filmmakers and providing a dedicated space to publicly showcase our art. And I am joined by 4 guests tonight. Buckle up, y'all, trying to immediately learn all of our voices and keep track of who's who. I have Nicole DeMeneses, a freelance writer, director, and producer working in the Bay Area. And I'll just have everyone say like a quick hi after I intro you so people can, you know, feel out the voices, see who we are, what we've got going on. So hi, Nicole.
Hi, Lee. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, so excited. I have Laura Petrie, who is the founder and producer of the Cinema Sisters Film Festival and the owner of the Art Farm Women's Retreat.
Hey there, how you doing?
I have Chrissy Mahan, a working-class filmmaker who's been making humorous visual records of lesbians and our families since the late 80s.
Hi, everybody.
And Jen Trujillo, the producer, director, creator in television, radio, and films, and senior managing director of the Gilbert Baker Film Festival.
Hello. So glad to be here with everyone tonight. This is really exciting.
Wow, you all did great. Amazing work. That's it. We're all done for the episode. Wrap it up, everyone. No, oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. And we're going to dive into so much stuff, I'm sure. But why don't I start with Laura. Tell us a little bit about Cinema Sisters and how this sort of came into existence and where it's at today.
Well, I was a devotee of the Michigan Women's Music Festival, which ran for 40 years up in the woods in Michigan. And when they closed in 2015, the LV handed out acorns to folks and said, go back to your hometowns and plant your acorns for women's space and women's events. And my acorn was a film festival for lesbian filmmakers here in Paducah, Kentucky. And that was 10 years ago. So, it's a legacy now.
Were they literal acorns or was just purely figurative acorns?
Yes, they did hand out acorns at the festival.
I love that. Did you plant the literal acorn, though?
I did not.
I was waiting for you to be like, I did and nothing happened. But the figurative acorn worked great.
That's it.
Where did the idea for Cinema Sisters come from that acorn?
Well, I've always enjoyed making little films and things. So I had a associate's degree in communications, specializing in television production. So I did that for about 6 or 7 years and really kind of got the bug. So I just decided that's what I wanted to plant, just to uplift women's voices, because I really believe that lesbians can save the world. So I want their visions and voices to be heard.
Agree. There's so much silent clapping and agreement happening on this very busy call. So tell me, maybe we'll go, I'll go down on my screen in terms of just everyone else telling me how they got here. So Nicole, starting with you, what's the journey to here, for this conversation, but also to Cinema Sisters for you?
Yeah, I found out about Cinema Sisters through Lesflix. I had seen a documentary about the festival, and I had reached out to Laura for a film waiver because, us filmmakers, if we can get a waiver, it helps. And Laura was very generous. And I'm trying to remember the first film I showed there. I don't remember, but I've been fortunate enough to show a couple films at Cinema Sisters. We showed this wonderful lesbian mermaid rom-com called Fishy that had Jackie Monahan, Jill Bennett, and Evelyn Stillwell and Lisa Haas. And then last year we showed Last Bite, a sapphic vampire film, our short film proof of concept. So we've just, we love Cinema Sisters. We want to raise the roof for Laura, and we like what she's doing. We're happy she's around and she's making things happen for so many filmmakers.
Incredible. And this is the 10th anniversary year of the festival, yeah?
Yeah, it's been going for a good minute, and it's going to be taken over by lesbians and filmmakers soon enough. So pack your bags, full of Birkenstocks, whatever you need, and get out there for a good time.
Flannels and Birkenstocks, that's all you bring, actually. Pants, optional. Optional pants. Jen, speaking of, tell me about you. Tell me about your journey.
I had heard about Cinema Sisters Film Festival also from Lesflix, and I had volunteered at Lesflix and worked with them, and they had helped Gilbert Baker Film Festival in a time of need and helped support us with an event with our festival back in 2020. And B. Danielle Watkins is a filmmaker that's been part of Gilbert Baker Film Festival and also part of Cinema Sisters. They did a documentary called Parallel about their experience at the first inaugural Cinema Sisters Film Festival. Fast forward down the road, and in the last year and a half, Nicole DeMonesis here got into Cinema Sisters it was Last Bite, right? With the film Last Bite. Correct, Nicole? Right?
Last Bite was last year.
Yeah, so Last Bite. Yeah, Last Bite in 2025. And Nicole wasn't able to make the festival, and I've been a supporting producer and helper of her film. So she kept encouraging me, you should go to Cinema Sisters. You should go to Cinema Sisters. And Nicole really is persuasive and wanted me to do it and thought I would really love it. I had resistance, I will be clear. I was like, I was already doing all this other stuff. And it turns out I went out to Poppy Jasper International Film Festival and I saw Nicole in person. She's like, on your way back, you could go to Kentucky and support my film and represent our film in Kentucky. And I was like, I don't want to go to Kentucky. Like, what? And, Nicole really pushed me. And I all I can say fast is I'm so grateful, and I'm never going to turn back. Went through St. Louis and met a whole bunch of film people in St. Louis, and then drove down to Kentucky, which is about 3 or 4 hours from there, and rolled into Paducah, Kentucky, expecting resistance, homophobia. I was afraid. I mean, I wasn't afraid, but I was like, oh boy, this is going to be, I knew the festival would be cool, but I thought everything around it would not. But I was wrong, and I will own that I was wrong. Paducah, Kentucky is a UNESCO United town, which means they care about bringing in the arts. And Laura has worked her butt off networking in that town and pulling off such a festival that people were like, oh, the lesbians are in town. Oh, you're here for the festival. Like, they rolled out the red carpet, happy that the lesbians were coming into town, excited that the lesbians were there for this Cinema Sisters Film Festival. And my Lord, when I got to the festival, it's 300 human beings, primarily women, but all sorts of other people and allies, and a lot of lesbians, wanting to watch film together in community and critically discuss film in community and celebrate these films. And I had such an amazing time. Laura doesn't just throw a film festival, it's also a mini music festival. There's parties, events, networking, highlighting local musicians, highlighting local businesses. Wow. Wow. And then there's the whole wrap up at the end at the art farm. You get to go to the farm and see the farm and the community there. So I ate my proverbial, lesbian mullet hat and was stoked to be part of Cinema Sisters and to get to be there and meet Laura and people there. And I got to represent the film on a panel. I'm talking a lot, I know, but I was so excited. The coolest part was being wrong. Right? Like thinking, okay, but it was amazing. It was amazing. And I recommend anyone within the sound of our voice to make the trek to Paducah, Kentucky this year to support Cinema Sisters in its 10th annual running. If you can't make it, donate, help them, tell other people. Please share it so we can get as many lesbians converging. I want it to be so full that we're spilling out in the streets during this festival. Right? Look at Chrissy. Chrissy's going to be there with me. But go ahead. Yeah, I'm ready.
No, because I don't, and I'm not forgetting about you, Chrissy. Don't worry. We're getting to you. I have two important follow-up questions. Yes. One is, what is the critical mass of lesbians that triggers like a lesbian black hole? Like, when do the lesbians start collapse? How many lesbians does it take?
Let's find out.
To collapse in on ourselves is what I want to know. Like, what is that number? Is it 300? Is it more? Like, how many used to go to Klexicon, right? It's got to be bigger than that. Say we get like 4,000 lesbians in Paducah, right? Is what I'm asking. Can we bend space-time in the queer continuum? My other important question is, what is the quintessential lesbian hat? Because what is a mullet hat and how does that work?
Oh, so my only hairdo is
maybe a word picture.
My only hat, if you know me, I think you've seen me a ton because I've supported the Lez Hang Out community events for years. And my only hairdo is hat. And I always call it my hat mullet because it's, it's short on top, or business on top.
Hat in the front, party in the back.
Party in the back, or, yep.
Sure.
I always just call it my hat mullet. And everyone's like, you should cut your hair. And I'm like, no, I enjoy my hat mullets. And I'm wearing a sassy newsboy hat made out of denim, which I'm stoked about. I love this hat. Woman made by hand.
Can confirm. I'm not sure I've ever seen you not in a hat.
Correct.
Now that you're saying it,
because you don't. I swim in a hat. Yeah. I sleep in a hat. I don't shower in a hat. That's the only time. When people see without a hat, my hair is drying, and then on goes the hat. Nicole's seen it first. But all these other women have seen it in firsthand. There's no time without a hat.
You'll quickly put the Gilbert Baker beanie on, in between hats.
I do transfer. I have
there's a tiny hat under the hat, just what's the never nude hat equivalent?
100%. That's me. 1,000%. There's always a hat.
Dozens of us.
And I have special hats for Cinema Sisters this year. So come to Cinema Sisters and see the hats, including the one I'm wearing now. I've already picked them out. They're already packaged and ready. I'm excited.
Now,
Jen, do you want to tell about the class that you're going to teach at Cinema Sisters?
Oh, are you teaching a class? Is it on hats?
I'm going to but I'll rock hats and I will happily. Oh, well, Edie Everhart's going to be there, who we can talk about later, who is a hat sister.
Okay.
But Chrissy Mahan is the person to talk about our workshop. We're teaching it together.
Chrissy boldly taking on the world hatless. Now, Tell me a little bit, because I love the intro too of like, you've been doing this since the late 80s. I've been alive since the late 80s, so you have some more experience than I do. Tell me how you get to here. What's the journey?
Hashtag intergenerational. Hey.
Yes, I love it. I'm thrilled to be hosting an episode for probably the first time in a bit lately where like I am not by far the oldest person on the call. That's actually great for me. So I'm feeling youthful and spry and my hips don't hurt at all right now is what I'm going to pretend. So let's do this.
I love it. Yeah. So I love to call myself a loca, which is a lesbian of a certain age.
No clues as to what that age is. You all just have to wonder.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just like a regular working class person who also happens to be, hot for women. And I never...
Aren't we all,
right?
Man? Just what a vibe.
Yeah. And so then like when the public library had a big old VHS camera that you could check out, I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. And so then I like checked out this VHS camera from the library and then like started like videotaping my friends, particularly who, because I was a total club kid, the lesbians that I knew were staying alive and my gay brothers from the club were, passing away month by month. So it became like at that time, taking a picture of someone who was queer was seen as a dangerous thing because it had to be with consent and as everything should be. But I was trying to like make a visual record of people who lived as they were, even if after they died of AIDS, they weren't buried as they saw themselves. And so I started this thing, which I called documentary, because making, documents of my friends who were living fabulous lives, but at that time, because of homophobia and sexism, may not have been remembered publicly, or at least on the record, as who they were to themselves. And so I never really considered myself very remarkable, and I still don't consider myself very remarkable. And if you saw any of my films, they're kind of like about like me, like kicking it with softball dykes or kicking it with my aunt, who is this like total dud butch, or kicking it trying to get my mom's vibrator to her at the nursing home, right? Like, so like the stories that are in my life feel completely regular. It's just when these oppressive forces in the world look at my life, then all of a sudden it's extraordinary. I'm taking up too much time, but I just want to say like, that's me. Like, I'm just like a regular person telling regular stories through film. It turns out that like, because of the way that the world is, what I'm saying is causing people to like get their undies in a bunch.
I also love that, I know this isn't what you said, and I'm paraphrasing with my own editorial bent, but I like that intro is basically like, I don't seem extraordinary until I think about straight people, and then I'm like, wow.
Right. And
and you're so right. We are all extraordinary.
Yeah.
In that context.
Yeah.
I've lost Jen already. It's so true, though.
Yeah.
It's so true. We all really stand out, I think, if you just think about straight people.
Yeah, and I think that at this point in history, like I've never wanted to like have my own biological children, but when the vice president of the United States is saying like, if you've never had kids, then you are othered and an outsider and like suspect. I'm like, what? Like, like how did that happen? Like, how did I become an enemy of the state because I chose to keep my ovum, like at high expense to me, like flushing down the toilet every month. Like, like I get to do with my eggs what I want.
The FBI's onto you now. Don't worry.
Like, but
don't worry about it.
Like, I just really feel like my bodily sovereignty never really seemed in question to me. Apparently, it's in question now. Okay.
So true. We're all highly, highly suspect. Highly suspect people, and no one should trust us. But also, we're exceptional. we're walking contradictions. Everyone get on board, okay? Don't question too much. It's all gonna work out. Now, I know you said we can get there, Jen. I do, just before I forget, because I have a suspicion I'm gonna forget a bunch of stuff as I lose us off the rails of whatever track I'm trying to keep us on. Tell me about the class you're teaching this year.
Okay, so again, I'm a loca. And
Me too.
Our bodies, not only as they age, but like our bodies, everyone's body's different, right? And I think that like this like eugenic patriarchal project of ableism means that there's only a certain kind of body type that is okay, and if you don't have that body type, then you're othered and different, and your life chances diminish, right? And so what Jen and I are going to be doing at Cinema Sisters is we're going to be hosting a workshop for filmmakers and others who come to Cinema Sisters to talk about how can we make our films accessible to every kind of body. And the name of the workshop that we're leading is called Film for Everybody, like with a space between
accessibility
every
for everybody.
and body. Right, yeah. So like talking about captioning, open captions, talking about audio description, and talking about thinking from the screenplay forward, like how can I make sure that the film that I'm producing is going to be able to be appreciated by whatever kind of configuration of sensory inputs that the viewer has. And so we're just going to like sit down, for a couple hours and say, let's talk about this. Let's talk about a culture shift around making film accessible. And as always, lesbians, like are picking up that thing and saying like, we'll just go ahead and do it our own damn selves. And so we're going to be teaching and thinking and listening and collaborating on how we can make films more accessible. And I'm so grateful that Cinema Sisters is having this kind of workshop, because as a person with, a different kind of body and different kind of sensory inputs, I go to festivals and I'm left out. And so I think it's no surprise that Cinema Sisters is welcoming not only having captions and having an accessible space, but also having a place where people can come and learn about making their film accessible to the widest possible audience.
I know this is not directly, like, it's not exactly the same thing, but it's just bringing it to mind because I've been seeing a lot of them lately. But have you seen the Disney ASL new animations that they've been making? They've been taking some of their songs and like reanimating them to have the characters signing as they're singing and everything. And it's cool. It's cool when you make stuff accessible and engaging and consumable by different people, by everyone, so I love that. Jen, anything to add?
I was just going to say, it's no joke that, if you live long enough, you start in diapers, you end in diapers. So almost everybody's going to have a sense of having, change in their vision and hearing. But there are people of all ages that need different accessibility, myself being one of them, Chrissy being one of them. And we love film and music and all sorts of things. And so Chrissy always says, not about us without us, for the queer community that we should be creating.
Nothing about us without us.
Nothing about us without us, which is huge.
That's been around for a while, yeah.
And it includes the queer space, but it also includes different sensory needs and inputs, different accessibility. And we're really trying to get people to understand from the pre-production stages, from the creation stages, economically and inclusivity at that point can work through the whole process so that by the end it is easier to have a body of work that is accessible for everybody. And you're leaving, a huge percentage of the population right now without aging is not able to access a ton of things that are out there. So yeah, I'm really, really passionate about this. I care about it in my own life. Chrissy does. Everyone
Laura
here does.
Laura does as
Laura
well.
does. Yeah, and Nicole is around me all the time, knowing I need it. Right? She lives in a house that needs captions and all that stuff. So it's incredibly important. I can't say it
I
enough.
have a tiny grandma that can't hear any shows, and everything is at like the volume is at 40 or 48, and we're hearing it all through the house. And she has a hard time when we go to movies, and she's missing stuff in the story. And yeah, I think sometimes she falls asleep in self-defense. She's like, all right, I'm just gonna take a little nap. I paid $12. I'm taking a nap. You know.
Well, I want to be included. I want to hear it. One of my filmmakers for this year's festival sent me a trailer from one of his other works today, and it has a very clearly strong opening sentence and leading into something. I couldn't understand it. I played it 20 times, and so I was like, hey, and I wrote in my 5 top versions of what I thought it was. I was totally off on what the opening sentence was, and he was like, wow. And I was like, I tried really hard. I knew you were trying to hook me. I don't know what was said, and there are no captions. So there you go.
Yeah. You know, as we think about Cinema Sisters, like if there's someone that's listening to this that's deciding, should I go or should I not go? You know, bring your body, bring your experience. Like I've shown films there, I've been there. Like it is a place where you are welcome. And I say that with the deep respect for, you know, what Laura has created with Cinema Sisters. I try to like be in spaces where it's the world that I want to live in. And so, you know, Cinema Sisters Film Festival is a place where you can like bring yourself to, and that self will be welcomed and appreciated and be, you know, mindfully thought about before you arrive, so that you don't have to like do that work of like, you know, where's the ramp? Does this have captions? Like it's been thought about. And so I think that if you're thinking about going to Cinema Sisters, go, you'll be welcome.
And you'll have a great time. Agreed. You'll be welcomed, have a great time, and be surprised. And to be the change you want to see in the world, I will say, everyone in this room does that, including you, Lee, and Ellie, and everybody at the Lez Hang Out team. You all, everyone here works tirelessly to be that change and to be part of that world. I mean, the Lez Hang Out podcast has been that. You've been a beacon through the years, right? You all wanted a community, right? And you've built it.
Yeah.
I mean, anyways.
I love it. I want to jump off of that. But what I'll do is, because I want to kick it over to you on that sort of point anyways, Laura, which is because it's exactly what you're saying, Jen. I mean, one of the things that Ellie and I love, and it's part of why we love having people on to talk about like the spaces that they've made, is it is super important to us to have queer spaces. And I think the more that people are willing to go out and plant their acorn, do that, you know, like find the ways to create the space for the stuff that they want to have out there and that they want to be talking about. I feel like that really connects a lot with that idea, Chrissy, of like the nothing about us without us, you know? So Laura, tell me a little bit about the importance of sort of having a space for queer people, lesbians to come and tell our own stories.
Well, that's really what it's all about, is getting our kind of hidden lifestyle out in the open so that we can kind of normalize gayness, I guess. Also, tell our stories to each other and celebrate with one another in a room, in a place you may never thought you'd come, like Jen to Kentucky. But find your sisterhood wherever you can and share your stories.
It is so important. And it's one of those things that it's like, it doesn't matter how many times we talk about it on the show or how many times Ellie and I talk about it not on the show in like every other conversation we ever have. The amount that I still constantly and repeatedly find myself trying to explain to not queer people the importance of seeing yourself and your stories, and how little we get to do that. Really, it just sort of like that never goes away, right? And obviously, I mean, it's different, I'm sure, now than it was, you know, 30, 40 years ago, as Chrissy can probably relate to us of a certain age. But it's not it's still, we're nowhere near like on par with the amount of hetero film landscape space, right?
Yeah, so we always had to be either villains or victims or stereotypes. So now we can tell our own stories, that we're normal people. And, that's a big part of this too, this normalization.
I was going to say, and we're fabulous people. Like, I have no trouble with, I'm not hidden, I'm fabulous, I'm queer, I'm here for queer, and I want all of that. I want the whole diaspora of that. And we deserve that. We are absolutely starving for our stories on screen. And we need filmmakers like the people in this room, all of us that create these films and bring these stories to life. And we need people, we're doing it so that people can feel seen, heard, valued, loved, respected, accepted, find their story, find their community, get to talk about it. And it's not just entertainment, it's life-saving, I would say. It's life-affirming. It's all sorts of things. Sorry, I cut you off, Lee, but I can't say enough that from the normal to the fabulous, like, I'm okay with being queer is fabulous. We have an extra sparkle. We do. Whether we wear all black and no rainbows, all the way to those people like me who are vomitous rainbows, right? We have all the types.
I'm not hidden, she says, from beneath an army of hats.
I'm not hiding under the hat, am I?
But to be fair, the hat can't do much against the probably 5 visible rainbows I can see on you or behind you.
Amen. Amen.
Well,
the hat's not currently rainbow.
I did want to say.
Do you want me to switch?
I did want to say, from a filmmaker perspective, I was trying to remember the first film I had at Cinema Sisters, and the first one I did have was called Queer Science, and it's about a wife who shrinks her partner down, and she's a tiny lesbian. And so some of the things we were giving away just to encourage people to come to the classes were tiny lesbians. And so, but what was so great about going there that year, though, is whenever you're in a Q&A and you're talking to people about your film, they always ask, well, what's next? What else? You've done this project. What's next? And I was like, well, I want to make a lesbian mermaid rom-com. And there was a woman sitting in the audience that's like, I want to help you do that. And she wrote a big check, and we were able to do that. And, it's those kind of connections where, like, it was totally worth going to Kentucky and talking with people and meeting with people, handing out tiny lesbians. And, you never know where a tiny lesbian will get you. But
listen, tiny lesbian sounds great. Where do the big checks come from?
But that's the thing.
Right.
It comes down to, you had to make that connection. You had to tell somebody, I'm thinking about this, and they're like, I've never seen that. I want to see that. Let me help you do that. And it was a nice connection where it's like, oh wow, it's so nice that there is a supportive person out there that believed in a future project.
I'm going to bounce off that, though, that Nicole and Laura, with the environment that Laura has created at Cinema Sisters with the workshops and the collaborative environment there, this is a lower tale, but it's real, that Nicole was on a panel or on a workshop and talked about everything there. Dr. Marie Cartier, moderates the panel of the filmmakers that are there, a Q&A, and she does an incredible job with Laura's support and the community support of trying to encourage people in the audience. You can be part of this filmmaking. You can be part of bringing your stories to life on screen. And Edie Eberhardt and Jerry Hernandez were attending Cinema Sisters, as they have, and they heard, Nicole heard them and vice versa say, Edie and Jerry said, we want to make a film. And Nicole heard that and said, I'll help you make a film. What can I do? And Edie and Jerry tell it that Nicole checked in with them regularly, like worked with them that day, talked to them through the festival, and checked in with them. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Fast forward 1 year later, their film was premiering at Cinema Sisters in Paducah, Kentucky. And that film came right after that and was part of Gilbert Baker Film Festival. And then, as we find out through Gilbert Baker that summer, they had 6 other projects in the works. They've already written features. They have a film already that's going to be in this year's Cinema Sisters. It will also be in Gilbert Baker Film Festival this year. Right. So
give a shout out to the name of the film. It's a great film.
What, the new film? Or the last one? The first one was The Cat Sitter. Yeah. The new one is, go ahead, say it. You say it.
A
haunting on Dyke Road. A Haunting on Dyke Road is the film that will be at Cinema Sisters. Yes.
I love
And it's
that.
a real road in Paducah. There is a dyke road.
Is it
Yes,
really?
and there's a real story around it. And it's High Grass Hideout Studios is Edie Eberhardt and Jerry Hernandez. They were partners and in life and in creating. Go ahead, Laura. What you got to say? We'll all mute.
Wait. One more thing though. They have 16 cats, and their cats made the first film. So it's very, very gay, lesbian positive. But I mean, you got to watch it for the cats.
There are cat Easter eggs like crazy in The Cat Sitter is their first film, and Jerry dancing. I mean, Edie dancing in her jammies with the slippers. That's one of my favorite things that I will never get out of my head.
That's so funny.
In The Cat Sitter. Go ahead, Laura. What you got to say about it?
Oh, I'm just so proud of my homies. They really knocked it out of the park with their first film, and it won an Audience Choice Award. So, congratulations, my lesbian sisters. I love them.
They made a lovely promo for you, so look for that online and share it if you see it. We're trying to get the word out about Cinema Sisters, and they made a cute little video about the Acorn and the festival, along with Jennifer Grossman, another repeat filmmaker and supporter of Cinema Sisters, who had also told me they're 7 times productions. They've had films both at Cinema Sisters and Gilbert Baker Film Festival. So, yeah.
I'm going to take this opportunity to say, let's take a hot break. We will hear from some sponsors. We will be right back.
I'm Mandy.
And I'm Melissa, and this is Moms and Mysteries.
We're 2 Florida moms obsessed with true crime. From infamous cases like Ellen Greenberg to shocking Florida stories like the Dan Markel killing.
With 55 million downloads, we bring you new deep dives every Tuesday and Thursday.
Listen to Moms and Mysteries on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Brandy Basanti. For the last 15 years, I've starred on one of the most successful reality shows of all time, Storage Wars. On my new show, The Real Reality, my guest and I will reveal the real story of what it's like navigating fame and notoriety. We will explore their unique story, what really happened on and off camera, how becoming famous has truly impacted their lives, and what their vision is for their future. This is The Real Reality. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts.
Reality TV is messy.
Pop culture is louder than ever.
And the internet
completely unhinged.
Welcome to Roxanne
and Chantel,
the podcast where cousins Roxanne and Chantel break down reality TV, celebrity drama, and the stories everyone's texting about.
We recap the shows,
spill the headlines,
and sit down with the stars themselves.
No filter,
no boring takes,
just the tea.
New episodes every week.
If it's trending,
we're talking about it.
This is Roxanne
and Chantel.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to Mick Unplugged, the #1 podcast for self-improvement and modern leadership. I'm Mick Hunt, your host, and I'm here to challenge your why and fuel your because. This is where leaders, entrepreneurs, and go-getters come to level up. Each week, I bring you unfiltered conversations, game-changing strategies, and the kind of motivation that transforms lives and legacies. I've learned from legends like Les Brown, Damon John, and Robert Irvine. And now, I'm bringing their lessons, along with mine, straight to you. From modern leadership tips to creating unstoppable momentum, this is the podcast that redefines what's possible. Hit play, subscribe, and join the millions who've made Mick Unplugged their go-to source for growth and greatness. Because your next breakthrough is just one episode away. This is Mick Unplugged, the voice and face of modern leadership, entrepreneur, and self-improvement. Let's get started.
I want to come back with kicking it back to you, Laura, because I do have to ask, I can't help myself. As Ellie and I are also people who are like constantly trying to make, put things out there, get things started, like just making the podcast in a general sense was like a huge, endeavor for us. I'm curious, what did it look like to logistically make something like this happen, and especially making it happen in Kentucky, which, I mean, it sounds like in a general sense, like Kentucky itself sounded like you were able to work with them pretty easily and find support there. I'm curious from the logistics of getting a couple hundred lesbians to travel to Kentucky, whereas where I would expect many of us would probably have similar feelings as Jen did.
Well, I think that we're hungry for our own art and our, like I said, our stories. So what I started out to do was have it at my farm and show movies in the barn and things like that. And we realized so many people wanted to come that it needed to be a bigger space. So I started looking downtown Paducah, found a great art house that was very welcoming, the Maiden Alley Cinema, and that's still our home theater. The grassroots movements are so important, and that's what this one was. It's just, I grew up on a farm riding horses and playing basketball and driving tractors, and I had this can-do attitude, a little tomboy all my life, and I just knew I could do it. And we have a great city here. It is a UNESCO creative city, one of 9 in the nation. So we're real proud of that. It's a very welcoming place. It's like a little progressive nook. So y'all come and experience this. It's a great weekend.
Just want to sort of put out there. So a few years ago, I had a parody of that film Carol because I have so much anger about that film. Anyway, so my parody of Carol was shown at just gonna say, so like I'm like a hot butch and like hot femme friend, and we're like, oh, Cinema Sisters is gonna show our movie, let's go. And so we're all like, like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, we like rent a convertible, and we're like, we're gonna go, right? And it's just like in that movie, because we like start to go and then the car breaks down and we like have a cassette and the cassette gets like ripped up and we're like, woo! And I just want to say that like from New York City, we thought we're just gonna like, everything's closed from New York City, let's just go. And so we like get in the car and we drive, and then we drove, and then we were like going up mountains and down mountains and up mountains and down mountains. Finally, we're like, we've been driving for a long time, and we're like, are we in Kentucky? Or like, nope, not yet. But I just want to say, like, make that journey, do that thing, like, videotape it. It's a journey to get there, and when you get there, you're like, you feel like you've arrived, like you feel it. Like, we have gone through the journey, we have like had to buy gas with people that hate us, and we continue on, and then there's like all these distilleries with bourbon along the way, and so we're like, oh, keep. I
do just need to make sure everyone knows though, like, you can fly. It's not illegal.
You can fly, but we thought
it's allowed.
Oh no, but like we're like all like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. We're like, we're driving.
I love and admire the commitment to the road trip to Kentucky. That's incredible.
And all these signs, as soon as you get to Kentucky, because it's like at the other side of Kentucky from New York City. And so like as soon as you get into Kentucky, and believe me, I love my bourbon, I love my whiskey. And so we like get into Kentucky and we're like, oh, a bourbon distillery. Should we stop for a tasting? Nah. And then there is a certain steadfastness that you have to have if you're driving all the way through, because you have to like, there's 1,000 ways that you could like not end up there, but like stay the course, baby.
And then you arrive at the women-led films Mecca. So all of the films at Cinema Sisters are submitted by a sapphic, a women loving women, a lesbian at the time of submission. They are not all lesbian or queer films. However, they are women with a Y or women with an E, however you want to spell it, led films. And it is, we don't have enough of that, right, Laura? Celebrating our voices, that's a huge thing. You're the only one in North America other than, well, in America. Canada has one, right? And London has one. And again, that's about it, right?
Yeah, there's London, Ontario, and there was one in Perth, Australia called Dyke Drama. I don't know if they still have that one going. And in us, and then I think there's one in Europe somewhere, but yeah, just not enough of us, not enough places to see us. So
my mind has, however, sorry, Jen, sorry about it. My mind has ground to a halt on Lesbian at the time of submission, which again raises important questions for me about like how many fingers have to be in a woman at the time of submitting. Like one finger free to push the submit button, or just and like.
Wow.
That is amazingly.
I don't even feel bad about it. I'm not even sorry.
It's Lesbian Visibility Week. Let's go there.
It's Lesbian Visibility Week. The rest of the time, you can't see us. We're wrist deep in women. Okay, that's where we hide. Actually, it's just so sorry. This is the week we take a break. We all come out of hiding, and you can see us. You know, hands free, if you will. What? Where am I? What are we doing now?
You're distracted by the thought of your hands and fingers.
What's happening? Where am I? It's not even late enough on a Wednesday for me to be punchy like this. It's been a long day. It's been a
You're
long
talking
day.
to lesbians
you know?
about having our stories come to life on screen and being in community.
Is that what it was? Is that what
It's
I was
important.
doing? That sounds. You're right. That sounds
and you're
better.
a part of that. Like, you have stories that you've brought to life on screen. I have lauded the praises of your musicals. I am here for them. I have had nothing but joy. I hope there's more.
Those aren't on screens.
There are
Come
stories
on.
that have been brought to life. They can live in your mind.
Yes.
And someday you might have one on a stage or on screen.
On the
You
big
don't know.
silver screen of your eyelids. Yes. No, it's true.
I love
there
them.
might be.
I love them. And I play them and I share them with people.
The silver screens of my eyelids.
That's where you play them.
Well, I might be
always makes
opening
me
a
think
category
of-
for such things in Gilbert Baker. So you would be my third.
I would love
Let's do
that.
it.
Listen.
The silver screens of your eyelids
No.
at Gilbert
So
Baker?
we'll talk about
Is that right?
There are people that are,
I'm gonna say because like I will like fill your inbox with like much crazy.
Here's what it is. Here's where that's happening in my brain right now, Chrissy, is my kids listen to this podcast. I feel like I've said this on the podcast before, and that's okay. Everyone can listen to this story again because again, I'm punchy and it's just me tonight, so you're all up to my whims, okay? At my mercy.
Bring
but my
it.
kids listen to this story podcast, and at the beginning of every episode, it's like the story's for kids, right? But at the beginning of every episode, they have like one of the kids who listens to it gets like sent in a little recording, and they all just say the same thing. And it goes like, remember, there are no pictures. You have to imagine the pictures in your mind. And I'm like, honestly, that's like that's such gold. I'm like, I wish all audio fiction podcasts could steal that intro for ourselves because it's so great. The silver screen of your eyelids. You just close your eyes and picture it, right? It's good. Our budgets are lower.
No, but I think that's an important political point for this moment, right? Like the silver screens of our eyelids should include a world where everybody can survive, right? And I think that one of the things that I have been trying to do as a filmmaker is reject the patriarchal, sexist, racist, homophobic world that we live in and propose worlds where everybody can survive. And like on a podcast, you can't see that I'm wearing a keffiyeh, but like we are living at a historical moment where the scales are going to tip a certain way. And so like the silver screens of our eyelids and the silver screens of festivals should be places where we are doing thought experiments in what world do we actually want to live in? Like what, and then that's why my my commitment to accessibility is where I was like, I want to live in a world where I can live. and so the silver screens of my eyelids, I feel like are the kind of places where we as a creative community should be proposing what we want and what could be. And that's why I'm proud to be a filmmaker and a creative at this historic moment, because we are the people that are going to like lead us into the world where we can survive, where we as women and I trans inclusive women can survive. And so, the silver screen of my eyelids, I don't take that lightly. Like, I dream a world where I and the people that I love and care about and people that I don't know and the non-living world, like the planet here we are on Earth Day, can survive. And
To that end,
sorry.
Chrissy, I haven't even talked to you about it yet. Art is resistant. Art is how we resist. And we have this, what we heard yesterday in that thing, you weren't with me, the joy, right? Like radical joy while we're resisting. You have to maintain a balance between we survived through the AIDS crisis. We've survived through things. And, that our ability to balance the fight, the umbrage, the horror, whatever we're doing, and also have joy and queer joy. The LGBTQI plus community is amazing at that. The queer community is amazing at that. And let's be clear, the women loving women, the lesbians, the sapphics have been bastions, along that journey the whole time. To that end, I got inspired. I went to another festival people have been trying to get to me go to forever. This past weekend, I went to the Baltimore New Media Festival, and I met, some of the creatives we already know, Joshua R. Pangborn and Craig Selbrady are there, but I also met other creators that are creating audio dramas and queer audio drama podcasts. And it is a lower barrier to entry. And I thought of you, Chrissy. I thought this is amazing. This is a way that queer people from anywhere can create, right?
I just want to say thank you for saying that. Like, I need a low.
No, it's not what I meant. Not about that, but that you are a bastion that to avoid classism, to lower barriers to entry, that you want people represented through our community of whether you have money or don't have money. And it is a low threshold financially and time investment to create these audio dramas and podcasts. And some of them that I heard are amazing. So I already have 2 that I think are committed to being in the festival. I need 3 in any category to be judged and be part of the festival. So, I'm here to ask if.
Yeah, hit us up, Jen.
I'm in. Let's do it. It'll be in.
Hit us up. We've got some.
It'll be a new category this year, and people can. And audio drama creators.
Well, and no, but truthfully, because not only that, I could get you in touch with so many like queer audio fiction people doing stuff out there. Because it is true. I mean, it's a huge reason that's the direction Ellie and I went into. Besides the fact that neither of us know anything about video or making film, is just that was accessible for us. We were like, we want to be doing something. We want to be. For us, the main thing was like, we want to have happy endings. How do we get more happy endings out there? And that was what we landed on. Is we're like, well, we know how to make podcasts.
Yep.
So, and of course, Ellie was like cavalierly, and you can write a musical. And I was like,
you can, and you did. And you will.
But now I have, so I guess I can't fight her on it too much. Plus, I will say, while we're talking about the just accessibility topics, only because it's all sort of bouncing around in my head right now. But one thing that I will say I do appreciate a little bit more right now about the audio fiction sphere, and because I've noticed it like as I listen to stuff myself these days too, is like, and the accessibility piece is for sure also from people telling us that they're like, I can't do audio fiction because like I cannot focus on it. My ADHD is too bad. I just like I get distracted too easily. Like all sorts of stuff. Totally like valid, understandable things that I'm like, it doesn't have to be for everyone. But there are times, especially these days, with the amount of like streaming content that is just sort of like trying to spoon feed people. Like I'll talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it on screen, since everyone's looking at on their phone, like at the same time. And I'm like, there is something about a medium that just does require like a certain amount of attention and focus. And like, yeah, if you get distracted, man, like rewind 10 seconds back, 10 seconds back, 10 seconds back. What was happening? Right. Like it is, I do not appreciate that part of it at the moment, because can't kind of do other stuff when there's nothing, there's not the whole realm of sensory experiences happening. But at the same time, that also means plenty of people are like, yeah, I don't do audio fiction. And I'm like, that's cool too. And that makes sense.
And it's available though to people that may have, they have the silver screen behind their eyelids and in their mind. But if you paint a beautiful picture, that's another part of this world. So I'm here for that. And
yeah, no, 100%.
Accessibility wise, I'm just going to say it's one of the things I'm very proud about with Gilbert Baker Film Festival, that we have made it global and virtual, and we are working as hard as we can to make it accessible to people wherever they are on the globe, whatever schedule they're on with kids and work and life, or wherever they are on the globe, that they can come to the over 200 hours of live interactive events that we have during the festival. And they can also just access the films on their own 24/7 for months. And then we have beautiful people like the humans in this room that have submitted films or helped with judging or helped with being part of that interactive audience. So I'm grateful to you, Nicole, Chrissy, and Laura for being supportive of Gilbert Baker Film Festival, which I really am grateful for. With you, we're making a difference. We're reaching people around the globe, both with Cinema Sisters and with Gilbert Baker Film Festival. And then, that you all, including you, Lee and Ellie, are bringing these. You just keep going, keep creating, and keep helping others create, which everyone that I see in front of me here on the Zoom and that are part of this podcast today does, which thank you.
Someday someone's going to have to pry this microphone from my cold, dead hand. We're never stopping. Which does segue me naturally into my next question, which is, Chrissy, show me on the doll where Carol hurt you.
No. Oh, I love this question. I love this
Tell me
question.
more. Tell me what happened.
Okay. So I think when I look at film as a working class lesbian, I look at film and I say, if the characters in the film could be substituted by a straight guy, it's not a queer film, right? Like the Kate Blanchett character, if that was like a white dude, like going like, I'm going to go troll in Manhattan to find a shop girl. I'm going to bang her at my home without telling my wife, introduce her to my kids. And then I'm going to like drive to Chicago. And then I'm going to be like, shit, oh, there's going to be consequences for me, and abandon her in Chicago. And then just like fly back to like take care of my like business. That would be a really bad movie in my opinion. Right. But if you put like beautiful women in the film, for me, as a working class person, it doesn't make it a queer film. It just makes it a film where there's like some, like eye candy cosplaying for like the straight guy. And so I made a parody of that film using actual dialogue from the film. Yes. Because it's like, the parody writes itself in most cases, right? Like, and so I think that one of my favorite things about being queer is I'm in a position to like look at the world and say, you can do better. I know you can do better. I just know it. And I think that like Carol was this like failed thought experiment in like, you can do better. I want to believe that like the arts are a way for us all to like have thought experiments in like how we could do things differently, right? Like I don't expect my siblings who I love and who love me, I don't want them to be queer if they're not queer. Like I believe in bodily sovereignty and I believe in consent, but I think that like for me as a filmmaker, I can propose thought experiments of like, but what if, right? And so like that's why I hold film to a high standard, right? Like I don't want to have like a thought experiment of like, oh, if you're rich enough, then you can like bang a working class lady without consequence and she'll still want you when you finally like lost your marriage and your kid. Like I want more. And so I hope that the creative community will, take up this project of the collapse of, capitalism, this eugenic, racist, sexist project that's happening right now. And I hope that we will create thought experiments where someone who doesn't share our identity can say, maybe I should explore this a little bit more. And that's why I'm proud to be an artist and proud to be working in collaboration with other artists who believe that there's a future that's worth fighting for.
I want you to know I was going to fight you on the criteria, but I think you're talking more film, because I was like, as the diehard, like, I constantly am like, I'm going to defend First Kill on this podcast because I don't care how dumb or bad or like absolutely unnecessary your lesbian media is. I'm like, I just like that it exists. I think we're on different tracks there, and I see that and respect that. I think my general go-to is like, I want when the silver screen of my eyelids, when I open them, I want it to all be lesbians as well. And so I don't
Right.
I don't care how bad it is, unless of course it's happiest season, in which case get fuck right out.
Hey, we might get a sequel. I saw Audrey Plaza saying something, but I just want to say something real quick about Carol, because I want to push back a little bit, because I think Therese is
fight.
She doesn't just like, she's not just passive and just willing to get banged by any housewife. She's like, she puts in the work. She goes to this woman's house. She bought her a record. They go on a road trip. They share sandwiches. It takes and I don't think they get together until it's like New Year's Eve. And she's like, take me to bed. She commands Carol to take her to bed. And then you're like, damn right. It's like an hour and a half in. Take her to bed. But I mean, Therese is
you
working.
drove to Kentucky. You drove to Kentucky, Chrissy. How far did they go to
I also would say that they're on even. Let me just say one more thing.
I'm just going to say,
footing in that the Carol as the housewife doesn't have her own money, doesn't have her own autonomy. Therese is just starting out, just trying to make her way in the world. She wants to be a photographer. She wants to succeed. They're on more equal footing than I think you're giving credit for.
Okay. Dyke fight.
I would love nothing more than to just fight about Carol for the next hour, truthfully.
Okay, so here's the thing. So, like, when Carol busts out the revolver,
that was so hot. I was like, "That's my girlfriend." Yes, please, thank you.
Hot. Okay, I'm just saying. Domestic violence is real. Like, when power dynamics shift, consent becomes in question. And if I'm like, oh, I'm going on a road trip, and then like this like hot girl that I'm with is like, oh, I happen to have packed some heat. I'm like, okay, consent.
I can't believe I didn't make popcorn before this.
Power dynamic.
I'm so sad.
I think that guy totally deserved to have a gun pull on him, and the fact that he walks out fully intact, he got off easy. I was disappointed she didn't use her weaponry. I was ready for her to put some holes in him, and then they could continue on the road trip and keep it moving. My criticism, Sarah Paulson wasn't in it nearly enough. We needed more Sarah Paulson.
So true. But
it's one of the few lesbian Christmas movies that got nominated for an Oscar. All right, that is the lesbian Christmas movie standard. God damn it, say that.
You say few. Are there
more? There are so many lesbian Christmas movies. I'm just saying this
that got nominated.
No, I'm saying that this is the Todd Haynes, Christine Vachon like partnership that we expect, that there's a certain level of quality there. That like, all right, if a gay man is going to direct a movie about lesbians, he's got a lesbian producer like helping him get the money, helping him get shit done, because lesbians get shit done. So I mean, that partnership is the lasting partnership, and I will watch anything they make together. So.
Okay, can I just say that the most lesbian feature of that film was when Carol called her ex to like clean up her fucking mess. Can I say fucking on a podcast?
I have talked about being like wrist deep in women. You're fine.
That's
just saying. Like when Carol like said, "Oh shit, I gotta like handle my shit," so I'm gonna call my ex to come like collect this like working class girl. I thought that was the moment it became a lesbian film for me. Like, all right, straight men don't get to call their ex-wives to go handle their affairs, but a lesbian gets to call their ex to go handle their affairs. And I'm like, oh, Patricia Highsmith, you have banged women. Hey, now it's a lesbian film.
Listen, everyone, if you'd like to fight with Nicole and Chrissy about the values of Carol or issues with the film, you should consider joining them at Cinema Sisters in Paducah, Kentucky. The 10th anniversary this year from May 21st to 24th, okay? That's all I'm going to say. On that note, any last burning things on people's hearts or minds? I'm so tempted to let that just keep playing out. I truly would love to
come back for a Christmas episode and go through the Christmas films with you. We'll come through the holiday
Part of me
film.
is like, maybe we should wrap it up and we can take it back up, and I'll just let Ellie edit it into like a Patreon thing. But Last thoughts before we jump to our Q&A.
I have more things to say about Carol. So yes, another time, or let's come back for holiday. Let's talk some holiday films. You've got people here that
we'll
have
just
opinions.
have a duke it out fight.
So this year, because Jen and I are going to be doing this workshop about making lesbian film accessible, I'm taking a car to a train, to a car, to Paducah, and then to a car, and then to a plane. So like, except for a ferry, I'm taking almost every available means to go to and from Cinema Sisters because it's that
Segway
important.
scooter.
So I hope that, exactly, I hope that a lot of people will go there as well. It's worth it.
Okay, Jen,
I'm going to
go
let
ahead.
Laura answer this question. There are airports. I know there's St. Louis, which is about a 3 or 4 hour drive. But can you tell us the other local airports or airports that people can book aside from the train?
Absolutely. They can come right into Paducah, Barkley Regional Airport, and we'll pick you up and take you to your hotel if you need that. But you can also fly into Nashville, Tennessee, which is a real easy 2-hour drive north to Paducah, or Louisville, Kentucky, which is about 3.5 hours. St. Louis is only between 2.5 and 3. So, yeah, you can fly
there was
right
construction when I drove each way. And
Okay.
it was about, I guess 2 to 4 there on that strip. But
you could make it a little longer than a weekend and play in Nashville, Tennessee for a day or two on your way home, or St. Louis. But
Plus, I hear road tripping's the way to get to
that's
Paducah,
what I did.
So.
I drove from, I did train and then car and yep. It was worth it. Though, I'm in the DC area. It's, I'm already mapping it out. I am going to drive because I'm going to look at BMX pump tracks and parks on the way, and skate parks, and bring my bike. So I am making it a road trip, right? Nothing more than that, right? Lesbian and bikes. Can I say one more thing before we lose it? You're excited about First Kill. If you care about vampires and sapphic vampires, I am incredibly passionate because I'm working with Nicole DeMonesis here as a producer on a feature film with sapphic vampires. And I should let Nicole do her pitch because we've been working on her pitch. But I just want to let people know about it because we really want to bring this story to life on screen. And I think it's going to be amazing. So go, Nicole, for 1 second, and then we'll go back.
Yeah, it's a labor of love. It's centered around San Francisco. It follows a vampire in an abusive relationship who is trying to leave her maker, and she is seeking a new companion. It all takes over the course of one night. Come dawn, there's going to be some hard decisions, but we're currently in a fellowship, and we've been doing some rewrites on the script. We've raised a certain amount of money on GoFundMe, almost over $15,000. So we're moving train. We're asking people to join us. We'll be doing some auditions for actors, but the film is called Last Bite, and we're excited to get it out there. It's been too long since, when you say lesbian vampires, the first film usually people think of is the Hunger, and so come on, we got to put more films in that conversation. That can't be the only one.
And we had some first kill lovers. This is going to be a neo-noir, erotic, beautiful thriller. It's going to be great.
Laura, any last thing to say about Cinema Sisters in anything on your heart?
Well, I want to say that we have some other workshops that are going to happen. You can look at our website, cinemasisters.com, and find out about some entertainment. We've got a lot more entertainment we're going to be rolling out on the website coming up, as well as a couple of other workshops. So there's plenty to do in a 4-day weekend, and make sure you're there on Thursday for all the fun. We end on Sunday afternoon or Sunday early evening, and then everybody has Memorial Day Monday to travel home or come hang out at my farm.
There's also the National Quilt Museum in Paducah, Kentucky, which that's on my list to spend more time there this year. I'm excited about that.
What a great segue into my Q&A, because we're going to have a question just about things like that, Jen, in just a second. So let's do it. It's time for Q&A. I'm going to start us with Nicole. Question 1. What would
Q,
you give people to
and
take home and plant
gay.
out of A, an acorn, B, flower seeds, C, chia seeds, or D, just a straight up tomato?
Some flower seeds.
Okay, Jen.
I'd go for one of the food items, functional.
Functional.
We need it
love
right now.
that, Chrissy.
Flower seed
And Laura.
tomato.
Don't you want everyone to fly home a tomato?
I thought you were going to say
that makes me
acorn,
happy.
right? In spirit of the festival, but no, tomato.
This question inspired by the fact that a bunch of our tomatoes that sort of fell off the vine last year are now growing tomato plants like randomly in a new spot in my yard. So it's good. They find a way. Okay, question 2, starting with you, Jen. What kind of lesbian movie would you make out of A, romance, B, drama, C, comedy, or D, horror?
I can let Nicole. I do romance. People know that here. I would do a romance.
Okay, Chrissy.
Comedy.
Laura.
Horror.
Nicole. There you go. We got someone's got to do what we no drama. We got to have some drama takers. So someone step up. Question 3, very near and dear to my heart. This question, starting with you, Chrissy. What would you prefer out of A, tiny wife, B, giant wife, C, giant check, or D, only tiny men?
Only tiny men.
Okay, Laura.
I'm going for the money, baby.
Giant check, Nicole.
A giant wife.
There you go. And Jen.
I think I'm going to go with Laura on giant check because we can inject it into getting our lesbian dramedy and dramas and all the things we want. We can improve our lesbian visibility and impact. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice. I want you to know the journey in my brain that was happening as I just kept coming up with new options for answers to that question. It was a delight. Question 4, starting with Laura. What Kentucky landmark would you visit first? My options are, but you are free to write in your own, A, Churchill Downs, B, Mammoth Cave, C, the Bourbon Trail, or D, Dyke Road.
The Quilt Museum in Paducah.
Love that. Nicole.
Dyke Road.
Dyke Road. Jen.
I'm going to visit Dyke Road for sure, but I want to go to the Mammoth Caves. My brother says they're incredible and beautiful. He was sad that I didn't make it there last year. So it's on my list.
And Chrissy.
Bourbon Trail.
I love that. I kind of want to see all of them, but also the Quilt Museum does sound dope, and I wish I had known that existed when I wrote that question, because I didn't. Okay, question 5. I hesitate to even ask this, even though I wrote the question and now we're doing it. So I'll start with you, Nicole. What lesbian movie are you mad at? A, Carol, B, Love Lies Bleeding, C, Blue is the Warmest Color, or D, Ammonite?
Oh, Ammonite. Jen and I have argued about that film. It's so ugly. We could...
Because it's a hate crime. That's why. Jen?
We need to talk about all of these films in more depth, I would say. You're going to have way more opinions and way more debate.
It's on the sequel. It's on the follow-up.
I would say Love Lies Bleeding in the sense of, I think it's a powerful film. I just feel they pulled a switcheroo. Everyone thought we were good.
You don't have to. We're not justifying your answers right now. We're throwing hands. Okay.
Katie
Chrissy,
O'Brien's
I
not going to humble you, even though we got a soft spot for Katie O'Brien.
Yeah.
So.
I love Katie O'Brien. You know that.
Put it on the record, Chrissy. Go ahead.
Mad at?
Yeah.
Carol.
Okay. And Laura, round us out.
I'm going to go with Chrissy and say Carol.
I did try to pick some of the ones that I know have discussion already. I tried to find the most controversial ones and or Ammonite, which I also hate. So I
would almost say blue is the warmest color, but it no one saw it. So
I think enough people saw it. It's just it was for a different audience. Plenty of people
Ellie
saw it.
and
That
I
was
did
the
a
problem.
whole episode on it. What are you talking about? Listen, I think we all know someone's mad at all 4 of these, and therefore I don't feel bad writing the question. Remember, listeners, if you want to tell us what movie you're mad at, you can give us your own answers to this episode's Q&A questions on our Instagram at Lez Hang Out Pod. Thank you, all four of you, so much. This has been a delight. I'm going to, again, run us through the list real quick, and I will end with you, Laura, so that you can also tell everyone where to find the festival. But starting with you, Nicole, tell everyone where they can find you or find your projects on the social
Yeah,
medias.
you can follow Dark Rainbow Films on Instagram and Facebook, and we have our GoFundMe page on both of those in the bio.
Incredible. Jen.
Gotta find the button. That's what she said. Gilbert Baker Film Festival.lgbt. Gilbert Baker Film Festival.lgbt and Gilbert Baker Film Fest on Instagram. On Instagram, you'll find the link tree to all connections to me, Jennifer Trujillo, and the film festival. And get in touch, please. And be ready. Gilbert Baker Film Festival is coming June, July, August into September. Available anywhere in the world that you have access to the internet. Both the interactive community of the festival, you can discuss film and meet other people, and you can also watch films 24/7 on your own timeline and participate in our Audience Choice Awards. So please, after you've had the high of being at Cinema Sisters at Paducah, Kentucky, hop on over and be ready to drop into celebrating Pride Worldwide with Gilbert Baker Film Festival. Thank you.
Love. Chrissy, where can they find you?
So I have a website that's Dykumentary, so the word dyke and then umentary. And you can go there and unsurveilled, as much as I can do, you can watch all of my movies and like find my uninformed yet impassioned opinions on just about everything. So dykumentary.com.
Nice. And Laura, ending with you, where can they find you? Where can they find Cinema Sisters?
We're on Facebook and Instagram at Cinema Sisters Film Festival, or go to the website. That's where you'll get a lot of information about this coming festival. cinemasisters.com, and it's SYSTERS, cinemasisters.com. We're just, it's the 10th anniversary, and we really want to pack the house this year and celebrate together. We got good films, lots of filmmakers coming, Q&As, parties, catered parties, music, spoken word. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. So get your tickets and get your butts here. Paducah. Who knew?
Incredible. Thank you all again so much. This has been a blast.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glad you had us. Appreciate you.
We love hearing from you and building community, so here's some of our favorite things each episode. And this week, we'd like to shout out all the people in our Instagram comments saying, yes, agreed, yes, with all kinds of fire emojis. DBT Kiki, AJ Always Jammin', Rebecca Noyes, and White Alana, who have been saying they've been waiting for our K-pop Demon Hunters episodes. Haven't we all? So thank you for the positive feedback. We love hanging out with bad queers, and we love talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. So much fun. As always, want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons. And as always, want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And Andrew Doucette, thank you so much for supporting the show. We cannot make it without you.
Remember, you can find us on all social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe to be the first to know when new episodes drop.
We also have videos going up on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show hosted by us with audio production by me. Our production assistant is Krista Murison, and other podcasting shenanigans by Lee Holmes Foster.
If you want to help support the podcast, a couple things you can do. The first is leave us a rating and a review on whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. It helps new people find the show.
And if you want to join our Patreon, you can get all of our bonus episodes and our Patreon-only Discord chat at bit.ly/lespatreon.
If you want to buy any Lez Hang Out merch, you can find all of our designs up in our store on our website or at bit.ly/lesmerch.
And remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings. You can find everywhere at $$beanprod.
You can listen to our first two shows, The Flame and Journey to the Heart, on any podcasting app.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/$beanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
And you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee. And
let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Welcome to Mick Unplugged, the #1 podcast for self-improvement and modern leadership. I'm Mick Hunt, your host, and I'm here to challenge your why and fuel your because. This is where leaders, entrepreneurs, and go-getters come to level up. Each week, I bring you unfiltered conversations, game-changing strategies, and the kind of motivation that transforms lives and legacies. I've learned from legends like Les Brown, Damon John, and Robert Irvine. And now, I'm bringing their lessons, along with mine, straight to you. From modern leadership tips to creating unstoppable momentum, this is the podcast that redefines what's possible. Hit play, subscribe, and join the millions who've made Mick Unplugged their go-to source for growth and greatness. Because your next breakthrough is just one episode away. This is Mick Unplugged, the voice and face of modern leadership, entrepreneur, and self-improvement. Let's get started.